My name is Lily Johnson. I'm a 50-year-old office worker who harbors a passion for the Japanese language since my student days. I can engage in casual conversations in Japanese effortlessly. At 23, I married for the first time. Unfortunately, my husband passed away just 6 months later in a tragic traffic accident caused by a drunk driver. Back then, I couldn't reconcile with the harsh reality and lived with a somber demeanor. Despite receiving $500,000 in life insurance after his death, no sum could fill the void he left. During my darkest days, Ethan Johnson, a coworker, became my solace. He patiently listened to my sorrowful tales for hours on end. Over time, I found myself falling for him, and we married when I was 25. However, I never forgot my first husband. Memories of our time together lingered vividly. I decided to keep the life insurance money untouched, preserving it for emergencies. A year after marrying Ethan, we welcomed our daughter Mia into the world. Mia, now a talented illustrator living independently, brought joy to our lives. One might assume we had a tranquil existence, but that wasn't the case. Our relationship soared when Mia entered her junior year of high school due to disagreements over her education. Ethan had meticulously planned Mia's future from birth, envisioning her attending a prestigious university. He enrolled her in tutoring services, believing it would pave the way for greater opportunities. While I didn't oppose initially, Mia's passion for drawing outshone her interest in academics. Even as an amateur, I recognized Mia's exceptional talent. I suspected she could carve out a successful career in the arts. My intuition proved correct when Mia, during her junior year of high school, announced her aspirations to pursue art professionally. I want to be an illustrator in the future, so I aim to attend an art school for university. Mia expressed her heartfelt aspiration. I want Mia to pursue what she loves, so I agreed. Lily recalled, nodding to her daughter's dreams. However, Ethan's reaction was vehemently opposed. Go to a prestigious university like Harvard, then work for a big corporation. It's more secure, and you'll be happier. He insisted, dismissing Maya's aspirations outright. Maya suggested starting with a company job, but Ethan remained obstinate. An illustrator. You're just playing around, drawing pictures. Ethan disparaged Mia's passion. I didn't invest all this money in you for you to have such a frivolous career. Lily couldn't remain silent. There's no need to speak like that. It's Mia's life. Let her try, she interjected, attempting to reason. Yet Ethan's response was even more vehement. Mia is my daughter. It's a child's job to fulfill their parents' dreams. If she lived as I say, she's guaranteed to be happy. His distorted belief shocked Lily. She hoped Ethan would eventually come around to support Maya's decision, but her hopes were dashed. Despite their efforts to persuade him, a deep rift formed between them. Lily took on the financial responsibility for Mia's education and living expenses, yet Ethan remained dissatisfied. Despite the challenges, Mia pursued her dreams relentlessly. She was admitted to her first-choice art university and worked diligently on her studies. Eventually, she landed a job as an illustrator and began living independently. However, Ethan refused to accept Mia's career choice. He constantly complains, saying we wasted money on tutoring services. It's embarrassing to have such a failure as a daughter, Lily lamented. She had hoped Ethan's views would change as Mia found success, but his attitude remained unchanged. Moreover, he directed his dissatisfaction towards Lily, criticizing her efforts at home despite his own inactivity. At this point, tensions between them had reached an all-time high. I came to the realization that this was his true nature, someone who couldn't tolerate things not going his way. His kindness only extended to Mia's obedience. A dramatic shift occurred when she expressed her desire to become an illustrator. Home became a painful place for me, and the solace I found was in the familiarity of the company where we both worked. Despite being employed in different departments, we strategically avoided each other. Around this time, I received a surprising offer that prompted a significant decision. Unexpectedly, my husband declared, I decided to buy Mia a brand new high-rise condominium. She's still my precious daughter, and I want her to live somewhere nice. I've already started the paperwork with a real estate agent. Despite his apparent disdain for Mia, this sudden announcement raised suspicion. I questioned if he even had the means to purchase such a property. Upon seeing my reaction, he smirked and callously stated, "Don't worry. You're the one paying for the high-rise condominium. I know you've got $500,000 from your previous husband's life insurance. Use that money. I'm planning to live in the high-rise with Mia. You and Mia are ultimately my property, so just obey me." A surge of anger enveloped me. He had decided on buying the high-rise condominium without considering Mia and me. I couldn't fathom his thought process. Carelessly, he unveiled his scheme and intentions. Moreover, there was no way I would allow my significant life insurance money to be used for such a purpose. I'm truly a good father, buying a house for my daughter. If you oppose, it's divorce. Just give me the money, and I'm done with you, he asserted. In that moment, without mercy, I retaliated. I stormed to my room and retrieved the divorce papers, declaring, "Fine. Here are the divorce papers." Presenting him with the divorce papers left him stunned. He clearly hadn't anticipated my readiness. Yet this was just the beginning of the real retaliation. I couldn't help but smirk as I faced my bewildered husband. I began to explain what had been brewing in my mind for quite some time. I can't trust a man who discriminates against his own daughter like that. I'm tired of living a life where I'm constantly criticized by you. I decided a while ago to divorce you. I was just waiting for the right time to bring it up. And then you said you wanted a divorce. It worked out just fine. His attempt to use divorce as a threat left him completely flustered, and he stammered, "Oh, you see." Ignoring his feeble protest, I filled in the divorce papers and urged him, "Come on, you write it down too. You want to be free from me too, don't you?" In response, he reacted in rage, dismissing the divorce talk as a joke. Frustrated, I explained, "I don't understand you either. I don't understand why you would buy a high-rise condominium just to spite your own family. If you say we can't divorce, I'm willing to consult a lawyer." Begrudgingly, he filled in the divorce papers, still furious, and warned, "Remember this." It seemed like he might retaliate in some form if I stayed in the house. Without hesitation, I left the house and promptly submitted the divorce papers to the office. When I reported everything to Mia by phone, she shared my outrage at my husband's outrageous behavior. "That's terrible. You're right to divorce him. You can stay in my condo for a while," Mia offered. Grateful for her support, I decided to take her up on her offer. That night, Mia and I discussed and planned our retaliation against my husband. About a week later, on a day off, Mia and I visited the house where my ex-husband now lived. Despite having lived there just a week ago, it felt like someone else's house. When we rang the doorbell, he came out immediately, questioning our purpose. "What do you two want? Did you come to apologize for what happened?" My ex-husband looked down on Mia and me with a condescending gaze. Suppressing my irritation, I spoke in a slightly weak voice. "That's right. I came to apologize because I thought I had done something wrong. I'm sorry, Dad." Mia, quite the actress, put on a remorseful face. Surprisingly, my ex-husband didn't realize it was a performance and seemed genuinely pleased, saying, I see. So you've decided to reflect on your actions." Unhappy, he acknowledged, though curiosity tinged his tone as he eyed the bags we were carrying. "What are you doing with all those bags?" he inquired. We held bags filled to the brim in both hands, tied up so their contents remained concealed. From one of the bags, I withdrew a stack of $10,000 bills, real money. "I thought it was wrong what I did to you, so I decided to give you my late husband's life insurance money. You can live in the high-rise condominium with Mia. There's $500,000. Can you put it in the safe?" I requested. Entranced by the sight of the $10,000 stack, my ex-husband readily agreed. "Sure, please put it in the safe," he responded, allowing Mia and me into the house. Even though only a week had passed since we left, the house was already littered with laundry and garbage. It occurred to me that my ex-husband was quite negligent in tidying up and doing housework. Imagining his struggle living alone, I couldn't help but smile. Mia and I stuffed the contents of the bags into the safe. However, we discreetly returned the $10,000 we had shown him back into the bag, not the safe. Fortunately, he wasn't watching as he went to the kitchen, saying, "I'll make some tea." Upon returning to Mia's condo, I packed my bags again, ready to set out on my own to a new place. "Take care, Mom." Mia bid me farewell with a smile. "I'll contact you when I settle down." "Take care of yourself, Mia," I replied, leaving her condo with a smile on my face. 2 days later, I was asleep in my new home when I received a call from my ex-husband. "Hey, what happened to the $500,000? "There's nothing but garbage in the safe," he explained. Bursting into laughter, I thought to myself, he really took a while to figure it out, huh? My ex-husband had neatly fallen into my trap. The majority of what was in those bags was simply scrap paper. I had meticulously rolled up unwanted newspapers and filled the bags, claiming each contained $500,000. However, that was a fabrication intended to gain his trust. In reality, I only prepared $10,000 in real cash from the bank, which was promptly returned to my account. If he had requested to see the contents of the bags, I was prepared to show him, scoffing at the absurdity of the situation. Yet he was fooled by just the sight of the $10,000 and remained oblivious until now. "You've treated Mia and me horribly. I think it's fair to return the favor. If you want to hold a grudge, hold it against your past self, not me," I declared, met with his desperate response. "I understand I was wrong. Can we live together again? I can't afford the high-rise condo, and I can't manage the housework. My place has turned into a trash heap," he pleaded, revealing his self-centeredness. Taken aback by his audacity, I retorted, "I'm not your ATM or your housemaid. You're an adult. Figure it out. Besides, I'm in Japan now. I can't come back to you." Indeed, I was now residing in Tokyo, Japan. This wasn't a mere overseas trip. Upon receiving an offer to work abroad from my company, I decided to seize the opportunity. I've always wanted to work overseas and study Japanese. The offer came before our divorce, and once I heard about it, I decided to divorce him and live overseas. It was a chance to live my dream and escape from my ex-husband. I had confided in Mia, but kept it from my ex, who was clearly taken aback. "So that's why I haven't seen you at work recently. Why didn't you tell me?" he inquired, to which I replied, "Why should I? We're in different departments, and we're strangers now." Before ending the call, I mentioned, "Oh, by the way, Mia has something she wants to say to you. Tomorrow, we'll call you at 8 p.m. your time, using a messaging app." Uncertain, he asked, "Is Mia going to live with me?" My response was vague. "We'll see, wait until tomorrow." As I drifted off to sleep, I anticipated his reaction to Mia's impending conversation the next morning. I had to rise fairly early due to the time difference, but it couldn't be helped. I initiated the messaging app and video called my ex and Mia. Mia wasted no time in expressing her sentiments to her father. "I loved you when I was a kid, Dad. I respected you as a parent and loved you from the bottom of my heart," she began, and Ethan looked pleased to hear that. However, Mia's speech didn't end there. "But that's all in the past. You outright denied my career path. That's when I realized your true nature. You just wanted to control me, and there's no love in that. I hate you now, and I don't want to see you again. This call is our final contact," Mia declared firmly. Upon hearing that, my ex seemed to be on the verge of tears. "Don't say such things," he pleaded. His unexpected reaction surprised me. Maybe he assumed Mia would love him no matter what, but Mia's harsh words continued. "This is how I really feel, Dad. You need to reflect on how you hurt Mom all this time. Also, I moved out, so there's no point in going to the apartment where I used to live. Don't use detectives or anything to forcefully find out my new address. That's all I wanted to say. I also conveyed something I had forgotten to mention earlier. I've explained the circumstances of our divorce to our workplace, relatives, and your parents. I don't think relying on them will do you any good. Well, goodbye, I added, and once Mia ended the video call, I concluded mine. My ex-husband pleaded, "I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I apologize, so please give me another chance." But I didn't care about that anymore. Later, when Mia and I spoke, she expressed relief. "I feel so much better now that I've said what I wanted to," she remarked. I, too, felt relieved after seeing my ex-husband in distress. Unfortunately, it became uncomfortable for him at his workplace. Though he resigned, he was disowned by relatives and his own parents. Unable to buy the high-rise condominium, he had to cancel. Moreover, he caused a scene at Mia's workplace, resulting in being locked out and banned from the premises. My ex-husband, who persistently repeated his selfish behavior, ended up losing everything instead of gaining anything. He seemed to have lost all his energy and was now living as a recluse at home. A colleague attempted to contact him about work handover, but found him looking lifeless with a thick beard and a foul smell emanating from the room. According to the colleague, his house resembled a garbage dump. Observing my ex-husband living such an unfortunate life, I couldn't help but think he got what he deserved. On the other hand, I am enjoying my job overseas despite cultural barriers. Mia is flourishing as an illustrator, tackling big projects with enthusiasm. Both Mia and I are overcoming hurdles and beginning to shine in our lives, which brings me immense joy as a parent.